Are you tired of your website being buried on search engine results pages? It could be due to your HTML structure. In this video, you'll find out how to avoid the three most common HTML mistakes and boost your website's search engine rankings. The first mistake is having unnecessarily deeply nested HTML elements. And here we have a perfect example on display. For this simple UI layout, we have div after div after div after div up until we eventually reach this H4 element. This was totally unnecessary and it causes performance issues. Those performance issues make it more difficult for the search engine crawlers to actually scan through the website, but also it hurts your UX. And I won't go on a rant why user experience should be the top priority for any website, but it also hurts your SEO since Google favors websites that have good UX. The second mistake is using non-semantic tags like div for everything. Now you may be thinking, what? Should I just stop using the div tag? No, but semantic tags provide context to search engine bots on what the content is actually about. Use div when there are no other better tags to describe the content. Now to show you what I mean, let's improve this HTML document with some semantic tags. Okay, so there are a lot of div tags here. Let's start by improving the structure of the overall page. So instead of using the div tags for the header, the main content of the page, and the footer, we actually have semantic tags for this. So for example, we can replace these two div tags with a header tag. Also, we can replace these two div tags with main, as this implies that this is the main content of the page. Lastly, we can replace these two div tags with the footer tag. Okay, so here we can also see that this is a section dedicated to links. So here we can actually use a nav tag, which implies that, well, in this section, there are navigational links. Now, looking further into this page, we can see that this is a section dedicated to a standalone piece of content. And here we can use a article tag, since this basically describes, well, an article or a blog post. And moving on, we can see that this is a distinct section of the page. Therefore, we have a very fitting name for it, which is the section tag. Now here in this section, we have a div that acts as a container for this image. And here we can also use a semantic tag called figure. Also, we can add a fig caption tag to describe what this image is about. So whatever, let's say example. The third mistake is misusing the heading tags. The H1, H2, and H3 tags have the biggest impact on keyword interpretation for Google, meaning that you should ideally include your target keywords in these tags. These tags are used to organize subsections on your page, while the H4 through H6 tags have the lowest impact for keywords and are used to provide only additional information. Now, having that in mind, here we can see two examples. Here on the left, we have a relatively good example of heading usage, and here on the right, we have a, well, relatively bad usage of heading tags. Let's see what we can actually improve in this example on the right. Now, it is immediately apparent that in this bad example, we don't even have a single H1 tag in this entire page. You should ideally aim to include an H1 tag in every page of your website, since it has the highest keyword signal for Google. So let's change this H2 tag to an H1 tag, and this will be all right. Now, what should also catch your eye is that these heading tags here on the example on the right do not really follow a sequential hierarchy. So we start off with an H4 heading, and then we have a bunch of H2 headings below that. Which indicate, well, let's say deeper nested subsections. And this doesn't make sense. All of these heading tags should follow a sequential order. And in this case, the correct way to handle this would be to have an H2 at the top of the subsection and then have H3 tags follow it. Now, what could also be observed is that previously we had too many H2 tags, and this is not good. A golden rule of thumb would be to include one H1 tag per page, about 2 to 3 H2 tags, and up to 6 H3 tags per page. And in terms of H4 to H6 tags, it doesn't really matter that much. Those were the mistakes that I encountered the most and have the biggest negative impact on SEO. Hopefully you won't make these mistakes and, well, let your pages rank as they should.